grace of quality. Please put your hands together for Miss Shradha.
And then I got this invite from my research team, and now they're making an entrepreneur. So hopefully, in today's session, I will share some of my entrepreneurial experiences with all of you. अच्छा, यहाँ पर अभी जितने भी students हैं, how many of you are from first year? Can you make some noise? They're going to keep it around entrepreneurship. But being an entrepreneur is almost like being a programmer. I'll tell you how. पहले मैं अपनी बारे में थोड़ा सा brief आप लोगों के साथ share कर रही हूँ. So I come from a village in Haryana, and बचपन में most of the जो vision जो aspirations इसको देख के करते हैं, and I used to watch a lot of TV. And TV के अंदर I used to watch a lot of and there was this one particular show that I liked a lot. It was about a doctor and a doctor's life. And it became my dream to go to a foreign country like US and become a doctor. So that was my dream for many years when I was in school. So I took one of the smartest decisions that you can take in your 11th class. I took PCMA. And then I started my NEET coaching. And it took me 4 months of NEET coaching to realize that I was not made for biology. And finally I dropped it and I shifted to computer science, and that is how my tech journey began. 11th, 12th में I started C++, like most of us, which Python पढ़ के आए हैं, कुछ Java पढ़ के आए हैं. And then I shifted to JEE coaching, and like every other student, IIT became my dream. And then I couldn't crack it. Then I landed at NSIT, did my computer engineering, and like a good student, I was doing good for myself. I was doing my internships, I was learning coding. I got my PPO for Microsoft. And during this journey, I met this man named Mr. Raman, and the way this man changes your mindset about life, and the way this man changes your life. I had all the plans to go to US or London. In fact, in my 4th year, I had gotten reference for Facebook London and Google University, and I was very excited to interview for them because it was my dream to go to US and become a software engineer there. How many of you dream the same, to go to a foreign country and get a job over there? A lot of us did. And nobody should blame us because that is what we see, that is what we hear about from our seniors. But him and I, we met in 2020, COVID के बीच में, बिल्कुल जब COVID peak पे था. So at that time, we had an interview about my experiences at Microsoft. And after the interview, we discussed कि ठीक है, इस तरीके की जो चीज़ें हैं coding के अंदर, अभी structured manner में इतनी कुछ has more opportunities. And India is the future, it is the land of opportunities. उसके बाद when I started my full-time job, it was at Microsoft Hyderabad. You might not know, but Hyderabad is like the main campus of Microsoft. Microsoft has a lot of offices in India, but it's their main campus, and it's like a college in itself. They have an entire building for parking, they have a lake inside, they have multiple buildings. Generally, offices have one floor in a single building, or they have a single building. So it was a really cool office to go to. And when you go and do an internship somewhere, they treat you like Damaji, like Raja. Because in big tech companies, the strategy is as an intern, आपको बहुत अच्छे से treat करेंगे, बहुत बढ़िया तरीके से. Because they want the best talent to come to them. And उसके बाद when you start your full-time job, फिर वो ऐसे होने सारा. So I had really good experience in my second year internship, which I did offline in Microsoft Hyderabad. I did my second internship there, and उसके बाद मेरा PPO भी मिलता था. But Aman somehow convinced me that I should move my location from Hyderabad to Noida office because it will be better for me to give classes since I was staying in Delhi. And Noida office was fairly new, the team was new. I was in one of the best teams of Microsoft, which is Microsoft Azure. They are one of the most profitable departments. And I did it. And the next thing we changed my mind about was leaving my job. And I was so convinced that it has been months, now the decision had to be taken, I'll leave my job. Then I asked him, I'm so convinced, how to convince my parents? Basically, I asked him, how did you do it? Because since you did not take a place, since you did not go for a government job. And he told me, पहले quit कर दो फिर बता दो. And that is exactly what I did. I quit my job and then I asked my parents if I should quit it. And finally, over the period of 1 to 2 months, I convinced them. Although I still convinced them, still to this day, they tell me to leave all of this and prepare for UPSC. Because it is the dream of every Indian parent to see their child becoming an IAS officer. Because for them, it was the ultimate power. But they like my work as an Indian, but I can't take the Indian parent out of them. And yes, so this is what happened, and this is how I landed at Apna College. And we started Apna College in peak COVID times. We started with C++. शुरुआत में उतनी कोई बड़ी हमारी टीम भी नहीं होती थी. We were a fairly new YouTube channel if you consider the tech space. And शुरू में मैंने started teaching. हर कोई गलतियाँ करता है. हम में से अगर कोई हर कोई नई चीज़ start करेगा तो obviously गलतियाँ करेंगे क्योंकि नई चीज़ें सीखनी पड़ती हैं. Even though Aman sir is a very calm person, initially when I used to teach, he used to correct me a lot. He used to tell me कि नहीं ऐसे हमें पढ़ाना चाहिए, ऐसे हमें ये करना चाहिए, because he is a big believer that a teacher should not work into giving information. They should work regarding transformation. एक transformation लेके आए students में. So he used to correct me a lot, and पहले मुझे काफी बुरा लगता था. उसके बाद आज I knew I had this seminar, so I woke up at around 6. I also woke him up, and I told him that my college has now crossed 100,000 subscribers. He was happy. It's not a very sad thing, but it's a big achievement for all of us because it is the dream of any, you can say, small venture to basically overcome their parent venture, and it is an achievement for all of us. So if you consider the coding space in YouTube, we have been teaching students for 3 years now. And उसके अंदर if we consider Apna College, even if we see all the channels that are above the 1 million mark on YouTube, we are, as far as I know, the youngest coding channel in India. And for the last about 1 year, we have also been the fastest growing coding channel in India. We have seen the figure of 1 lakh new subscribers per month. We have seen the figure of 2 lakh new subscribers per month. We have also seen the figure of 3 lakh new subscribers per month. and we hope to increase the growth, because it is our dream that anyone from any age group, चाहे वो engineering कर रहा हो, चाहे वो कुछ और कर रहा हो, चाहे वो 13 साल का student हो, चाहे वो 40 years की housewife हो, if they have the zeal to learn coding, if they want to learn about tech, if they want to understand technology, they should be able to do it in a manner which is easy for them. And tech should not have a barrier of a degree or of this ultimate, we have some barriers already in our head कि नहीं इतने level of math आना चाहिए तभी मैं अपनी technology को समझ पाऊँगा ये वो. हम चाहते हैं barriers से आगे बढ़ के it becomes easier for everyone to understand technology, to understand coding. And obviously the main is to get students the similar manner of resources that they have in colleges like yours for employability. So we stand for giving that chance to everyone. And if we talk about my entrepreneurial journey, although I had to think really hard and write down these lessons, तो मैं तो teacher हूँ, मुझे तो आदत हो गई, so I'll give you a few pointers, like 7 to 8 pointers. Like these were my learnings, because I don't know how an entrepreneur says it. As a teacher, I can try to teach you something regarding my learnings. So as I mentioned earlier, being an entrepreneur is very similar to being a programmer, being a coder. And the first point of similarity is that you should start first and you should learn later. Basically, अगर मुझे टीचिंग करनी थी और मैं इसी में पहले फंस जाती कि मेरी कंपनी का नाम क्या होना चाहिए, अपना कॉलेज सुनने में उतना अच्छा नहीं लग रहा, थोड़ा क्लास में पढ़ते हैं, लोगों को थोड़ा ऐसे चेंज करते हैं या पहले ऐसे और ये सारी चीज़ें करते हैं, टैक्सेशन के बारे में पढ़ लेते हैं, तो शायद टीचिंग करने कभी स्टार्ट ही नहीं करते. तो कई बार if any of you, how many of you want to go on and become an entrepreneur in the future? Is it? ठीक है. So the best way is to start and then learn things later, because there is a saying in startups and ventures that you should first build your MVP, which is a minimum viable product, which is a very small version of your product that you go and give out to people and you ask them if they actually like it, if they actually want it. And we did that in the form of our first C++ batch, which we gave out on YouTube. हमने पहला अपना batch बनाया, हमने students को दिया वो. And even though we don't claim that it is the most perfect batch or it is the most perfect piece of information out there, but it gave us the courage which motivated us to go on and teach more things. तो वहाँ से जो courage मिली हमें कि हम और चीज़ें बढ़ाएं और टेक्नोलॉजी बढ़ाएं, तो तभी मिल पाई क्योंकि हमने एक छोटी चीज़ पढ़ा के देखी और हमें फील हुआ कि हाँ स्टूडेंट्स को एक्चुअली बेनिफिट हुआ है और ये चीज़ एक्चुअली ऐसी है जो चाहिए किसी को. तो इंस्टेड ऑफ कि हम एक साथ बैठ के अपना बिजनेस प्लान बनाएं और सोचें ये चीज़ें मुझे करनी है, बिल्ड समथिंग, गिव इट टू पीपल, नोट डाउन देयर रिएक्शंस. That is the very basic, very practical thing that you can do. In fact, we do it also as a programmer. If you want to build a big project, we don't have to plan out everything, do system design first. That is the process जो companies के अंदर होता है. हमें एक जनरल कॉलेज के अंदर बनाना होता है, हम छोटा सा कुछ बनाते हैं, फिर उसके अंदर फीचर्स ऐड करके स्टार्ट कर सकते हैं. Second thing that I learned was that you have to be a quick learner, because when you are building your own venture, हर दिन नई problems आएंगे and रास्ते में कई सारी ऐसी चीज़ें होंगी जो आपने कभी नहीं की होगी, तो वो आपको सीखनी पड़ेगी. When we started, I had to learn how to teach coding. In fact, how to teach in general, because I was not a teacher, I was a programmer. उसके बाद when we started out with our first batch, we did not know how to build a platform. We went ahead and learned it. We did not know how to build a team. हमने वो सीखा जाए. उसके बाद अपने बैच के अंदर when we had to give live sessions, हमें नहीं पता था कैसे देने. हमने टेक्नोलॉजी, टीम, सारी चीज़ें फिगर आउट की, इंटीग्रेशन वगैरह उस चीज़ को इम्प्लीमेंट किया. फिर हमें लगा कि नहीं स्टूडेंट्स को टीएस की ज़रूरत है, टीचिंग असिस्टेंट्स. हमें नहीं पता था हाउ टू बिल्ड अ टीम ऑफ टीएस, हाउ टू गिव द स्टूडेंट्स सपोर्ट, बट वी वेंट अहेड एंड वी लर्नड इट. Then we did not know how to get DSA instructors who can teach them. तो हर एक छोटी चीज़ जो आप अपने वेंचर के अंदर ऐड करते हो, you have to go ahead and learn it, and you have to be a very quick learner. क्योंकि learnings एक तो need इतनी ज़्यादा होती है, क्योंकि to constantly build yourself up, build your venture up, you have to keep adding new things and you have to learn on a daily basis. major learning I would say was to be a really good problem solver. Entrepreneurship के अंदर कोई गारंटी नहीं होती आपके पास सक्सेस आएगा, you will get money, you will get successful, you will get a good life after being an entrepreneur. There is no guarantee after being an entrepreneur. There is no guarantee, but there is one guarantee in the life of an entrepreneur that you will get problems on a daily basis, and they will all be new kinds of problems. And when we talk about the startup, when we talk about the venture, हमारे venture की जो worth होती है लोगों की eyes में, the people could be users, the people could be investors, anyone. That is directly proportional to कि आपका startup, आपका venture किस level की problem solve करता है और कितने efficiently करता है. Your worth as an entrepreneur, your value as an entrepreneur is directly proportional to आप कितने लोगों की problem और कितने अच्छे से solve करता है. तो entrepreneur के लिए सबसे basic चीज़ है to be able to solve problems. And उसमें सबसे पहला स्टेप होता है जब प्रॉब्लम्स आती हैं कि प्रॉब्लम से हमें घबराना नहीं होता, क्योंकि अगर कोड लिखा है तो एरर्स, बग्स, एक्सेप्शन सारी चीज़ें आएंगी, चाहे आपको 10-15 साल हो गए कोड लिखते हुए. वैसे ही एंटरप्रेन्योर के लिए है, नो मैटर व्हाट काइंड ऑफ स्टार्टअप, व्हाट काइंड ऑफ वेंचर यू आर बिल्डिंग, यू आर गोइंग टू फेस प्रॉब्लम्स ऑन अ डेली बेसिस. तो वो तो एक्सपेक्ट ही करने कि दिस इज द पार्ट एंड पार्सल ऑफ लाइफ. नेक्स्ट थिंग दैट आई लर्न एज एन एंटरप्रेन्योर वाज कोई भी काम छोटा नहीं होता. एज अ एंटरप्रेन्योर आप ये नहीं सोच सकते मैं तो सीईओ हूँ, मैं तो सीईओ हूँ, मैं तो सीटीओ हूँ, मेरा काम तो टेक का है, मुझे ये काम क्यों बोला जा रहा है, मुझे ये काम क्यों करना पड़ रहा है. बिकॉज व्हेन यू स्टार्ट योर स्टार्टअप, यू आर द एचआर, यू आर द कस्टमर सर्विस टीम, यू आर एचआर एग्जीक्यूटिव, यू आर द एडिटर, द ग्राफिक डिजाइनर, यू आर एवरीथिंग. क्योंकि जब आपको वो काम खुद नहीं आता तब आप उसके लिए बेस्ट लोगों को नहीं लेके आ सकते अपनी टीम के अंदर. So you should know how to do each and every work, and for you each and every work should be important. It should be small. You cannot say मैं CEO हूँ तो मैं अपनी कस्टमर सर्विस टीम की तरह मैं कस्टमर सर्विस कॉल्स नहीं ले सकता, मैं एम्प्लॉइज नहीं ले सकता. When we launched Alpha last year, we started monetizing in August 2022, which was last year. It has been almost a year now. And हमें जो response मिला था अपने first batch का, it was really unexpected. इतने हजारों लीड्स हमारे पास आ गए थे कि हमने पर्सनली बैठ के 1000+ ईमेल्स के ऊपर रिप्लाई किया था स्टूडेंट्स को, which were 1-on-1 replies. And even though we had a customer service team, but we wanted to understand कि हमारे स्टूडेंट्स को क्या इशू आते हैं, उन इशूज़ को से वो स्टूडेंट्स किस तरीके से रिएक्ट करते हैं और हम कैसे इम्प्रूव कर सकते हैं फ्यूचर में उन इशूज़ को सॉल्व करने के लिए. तो वहीं पे अगर कोई बैठ जाए कि नहीं यार ईमेल के रिप्लाई मैंने माइक्रोसॉफ्ट में जॉब इस काम के लिए थोड़ी क्रैक की थी, तो that is something that will not bring the best output in the future. तो कोई भी काम छोटा नहीं होना चाहिए. शुरू में आपकी छोटी टीम भी होगी तो टीम के लिए लेट्स सपोज किसी का बर्थडे आ रहा है तो केक भी बैठ के पर्सनली आपको को ऑर्डर करना पड़ेगा. तो काफ़ी छोटी चीज़ें जिनका शायद आपको ना बड़ा इम्पैक्ट ना दिखे वो बैठ के करनी पड़ती है आपका ज़िम्मेदारी. नेक्स्ट पीस ऑफ लर्निंग दैट आई वुड से आई हैड वाज कि so recently I read this thing that humans के अंदर सारे humans के अंदर around 99.99% जो DNA होता है वो सेम होता है. I'm not sure if the fact is correct or not, but they say I read it in a data science book recently. They say that the 0.001% it makes all the difference. मतलब वो जो 0.001% है that is the reason कि मैं कभी अपने सपने में धोनी जितना अच्छा क्रिकेट नहीं खेल पाऊँ. तो the same thing applies in a lot of fields of life, and the same thing applies in entrepreneurship. If you really think about it, चलो think about it तो छोड़ो, but I can guarantee you कि कोई भी जो smart entrepreneur होगा, कोई भी जो अच्छा entrepreneur होगा, वो कभी भी आके सोशल मीडिया पे या कभी भी आके किसी ग्रुप या स्टेज के सामने अपना 0.001% किसी को नहीं बताएगा, because that is what makes them special. And a large part of that 0.001% is having faith in yourself. Because if you believe that this is something that I can do, then you will be able to do it. अगर हमें लगता है कि नहीं कर सकता तो आप नहीं कर पाओगे, that is a guarantee. तो इसीलिए the first thing विवेकानंद says कि पहले first we should believe in ourselves, then we should believe in God. तो अगर हम इंडिया के सारे दिमाग पे विश्वास करेंगे और हम खुद पे विश्वास करना भूल गए तो उतना अच्छा आउटपुट लेकर नहीं आ जाएगा. इसीलिए खुद में बिलीव हमेशा होना चाहिए. एंड entrepreneurial advice from someone, go and meet people in town, because they're more likely to tell you about their venture more if you go and meet them personally. Because every venture, every startup have different rules, and even if I share a list कि ठीक है ऐसे ऐसे आप कर लो and you will build this या Bill Gates आगे के ऐसे ऐसे कर लो, you build the next Microsoft or anything, we won't be able to do it because जो उनका point 0.01% factor है वो हमारे लिए अलग होगा और वो हर इंडिविजुअल की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी होती है अपने लिए उस फैक्टर को ढूंढना. So I think that is the major learning जो मुझे मिली, because शुरुआत में एज अ स्टूडेंट हम कभी अगर एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप के बारे में सोचते भी थे तो हम सोचते थे कि हाँ ठीक है कुछ हम देख लेंगे, किसी से हम पूछ लेंगे तो हमें सब कुछ पता चल जाएगा. पर कुछ चीज़ें लाइफ में होती हैं जो आपको नहीं पता चलेंगी, कुछ चीज़ें लाइफ में हैं जो आप करना स्टार्ट करोगे फिर आपको खुद से ही फिगर आउट करनी पड़ेगी. तो दैट इज़ द रोल, दैट इज़ द इम्पॉर्टेंट रोल दैट टाइम प्लेज इन ऑल ऑफ इट. एंड basically those were my few learnings from my entrepreneurial journey. And generally the seminars that I have, they are regarding coding. This is my first one which is regarding entrepreneurship. So what we can do is we can have a small Q&A session if you guys want.